All right. Good to see everybody. Sorry that we're 4 minutes behind schedule. We had a little bit of a technical issue, but we got our squared away. So it's so good to see you guys. Tonight's going to be episode 4 of Gearheads and Guardians. We're going to talk a little bit about staying calm in the chaos. We're going to
Man,
talk a little about self-discipline and a little bit of leadership too, I think. Then after that, we're going to talk a little bit about our tech tip is going to be cleaning our weapons. Kind of like what we used in more specific, we're going to talk a little bit about the lubrication, oil, and things like that. And then last, I want to finish it up with a little bit about concealed carry and the USCCA. What do you think?
yeah,
Sound like a
yeah.
winner?
Good seeing you, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
good seeing you too. Good seeing you. So again, with both of us being prior military, discipline's a big thing. Discipline, respect,
hmm
honor, all that stuff, right? But
hmm
taking that leadership and that what's the word I'm looking for? The discipline, things like that. Okay, applying that to everyday life. Now that
hmm
we're not in the military anymore, we can still use that in everyday life. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a lifestyle. I
Oh, absolutely.
especially as NCOs, we're like molded to the NCO creed, and every branch has its own NCO creed, but they all, from what I understand and what I want to believe, is that they all are formulated around the same principle of leadership and discipline. Um,
Hmm.
y- you know, we've always talked about either be the stripes or wear the stripes, right? And
Right,
Sergeant Major used to, he told you and I that all the time. And
among other
I
things. Yeah.
learned driving around Iraq with that man every day was always a lesson in something. He'd
Mhm.
always look at me and be like, Hessler, what do you think? And I'm like, Sergeant Major, you've been doing this 30 more years than I have, but it sounds, right. And he's like, you better live life. Or you remember how Sergeant Major Briscoe would talk to you? He'd be like,
Yep, I talk to him
you know,
every day.
yeah. But in today, and you and I saw it in the early years, but in today, it just seems that the leadership is not taken. Um, it's not taken like we had to take it. Now I don't know if obviously it's a different generation of military, right?
Absolutely, and that's a big
Yeah,
part of it too.
yeah. I think that uh, tying into a lifestyle, jujitsu, whatever form that you take, self defense, whatever form you take, it's still a lifestyle. And
Mhm,
I study the art of Bushido, which is the original form of jujitsu from northern Japan.
mhm.
And the thing that Sensei tells us all the time, he tells me every time I talk to him is you have to have that calm and you have to have that understanding, but you have to do it in everything that you do in life, whether it's you get angry at grocery shopping or you get mad at someone cutting you off on the road or whatever.
Never.
That's the same way in the military.
Mhm.
When you're in those situations out there, especially in the desert, or whatever, you don't have time to put emotion into it. So to take the emotion out, you got to calm down. And I just don't think they teach that today. I think there's too much emotion in today's military. I think there's too, and I
I
say
agree.
emotion very loosely. You know, I
No,
think
I get
that,
what you're saying though. It's
yeah,
more of a reactionary instead of, you know, you and I, we came up and I don't want to say like, oh, we came back up in the day.
hmm
We're not that old. I mean, yeah, a little old, but not that old. Okay. But um you got to remember the guys that we were leading, those guys are now first sergeant and all that. You know what I
hmm
mean? Those guys are, they're what we used to be,
yes,
15, 16, 20 years ago,
yes,
and we used to get, I mean, and I know I was hyper aware, you know,
hmm
of the age difference. Cause I mean, I didn't even join the army till I was almost, well, I'll tell you this, I had my 25th birthday in basic training.
wow,
Okay. So I didn't join right out of high school. I went
right,
to work in the factories and I was, derogging beans and everything else, trying to make an ends meet. And then, it was it's a different time,
different time,
you know.
yeah,
So I understand that things change. And the way we were taught was like, it's instinct. Boom, boom, boom,
hmm
boom, boom. We trained hard, trained daily. That was what we did. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Depending on your MOS, like now with us being communications, we were constantly in those shelters, day in, day out in those shelters,
Yeah.
as is E4 and below and even E5, you know, within them things day in, day out, training this, training that. I mean, I would have soldiers in there. I'd tell them, all right, show me on the patch panel how to do this, blah, 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 you know,
Yeah.
and that was in uh, DGM equipment even. You know what I mean? And then we and
Hmm.
then we went to trope or not tropo, but MSE equipment. And
Hmm.
now I guess MSE has changed even where it's like obsolete.
Oh
What
yeah.
we have was obsolete.
Yeah.
But my point is, we were taught, okay, everything that we did was instincts. You know what I mean? Oh, injury, boom, this is what I have to do. Bam. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
It was second nature because we trained so hard every day, or CTT training every what is it every 3 months or every 6 months or something like that? And
It was an army. It was a standard that we had to have
yeah,
it every
exactly.
quarter. Hmm.
Right. So uh and what makes it nice for us as NCOs too is we had to be the subject matter expert
Hmm.
to teach it. So we knew, backward, forward, upside, downside, everything, about that topic.
Hmm.
And like I said, we were just trained differently than the way I believe anyway that we're trained differently then than what we're trained now. Because even like when I talk to my brother's a Vietnam vet. Okay. And
Oh,
I've asked
he's
him, and
old
we've
boots.
talked. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's old boots, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
I wish my dad was still around because then he could tell me about World War II and Korea, but
Hmm.
or my grandfather, World War One. But you know, he's even told me that the way they did things then are not the way they did things when we were in. And the when we were in,
Right.
there's not the way they're doing things now. Because back when my brother was in, wall to wall counseling was a real thing.
Hmm.
That was
Hmm.
very real. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The drill sergeant to put his hands on you in a heartbeat. Your NCO, your senior NCOs, they'd snatch you right up and beat
Yep.
the living tar right out of you.
Yep.
Now you want to make that same mistake again, private? I didn't think so. And get back to
Right.
work. And that's how it worked. That's how it worked. That's how we were, brought up. Even as kids, that's how I was brought up. You know what
Right.
I mean? Because my dad was a instructor right after World War II.
And I
10 years old, I could bounce a quarter off my bed.
I think I'm I was fortunate that I was an operations NCO when I got back from the desert over at Fort Gordon. I was an operations NCO for
Right on.
an entire training company, and the transition from how we grew up to how they were teaching soldiers are now or at that time um, was it threw me for a loop. So much for a loop that I had to get retaught about modern day soldiering as an E6, and it was absolutely weird to me. And when and you talked about something about the age gap, National Guard, reserves, not those are armed forces too, brothers and sisters. Don't want to talk
Hey,
about them.
they
However,
say U.S. Army right on their shirt,
that's
doesn't it? All right.
absolutely. But there's a mentality that I saw there was the older the person, not rank, the person, they kind of felt like they had uh the open door to talk to us older NCOs time and grade wise, not age wise, time and
Any
grade
old way
wise,
they want to.
any way they wanted to. And I found myself in a lot of conflict because I mean I had a 45, 46 year old, and I was 27, 28-year old E6 at the time, and
Mhm.
specialist walk up
Oh,
and
no.
and tell me what I need to do. It's just a new army, and I'm not saying anything disrespectful to those that are in that boat, but I will tell you that today's military, and then you move to today's society, the way that
That plays a
today's
lot of
society
it.
is. The there I have always said that I believe and I'm glad I did this, and I'm sure you probably could have, if you could have gone right out of high school, or it might have worked in your mind too to do that then, but I believe that seniors need to spend 24 months, 2 years active duty, and then do what you want, right?
Mhm.
There's countries that do that. And after seeing what I've seen after I got out, and now that I'm in the contractor role, still dealing with active duty
Military, yeah.
military, you just sometimes I just want to sit here and go, who is teaching you just
Right?
basic military custom and courtesies?
Who the hell is your chain of command that
Exactly.
I need to talk to get your
Exactly.
straightened out?
Exactly. You know,
No,
you know,
I get you.
the meaning of battle, right? You throw that out to people of modern day, I'm going to say 2010 till now, they don't understand what battle means. They don't understand what it means when us older NCOs walk by another NCO. I don't know who
Hey,
you are,
battle.
but you're my battle. That's that lifestyle that no matter what, you have my back, I got yours, no matter what
Regardless.
uniform you wear. It's
Right
not
on.
taught today. I don't feel it's taught today. Now, I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong. I remember when you and I were going through this. We were in Korea, and you and I were going through this NCO transition. And
Mhm.
the hardest part about being promoted and staying within your unit is that your peers are now your subordinates, right?
It was
And
difficult.
and they didn't want to accept that, and rightfully so. But
Right.
they didn't want to accept that, so we had conflict.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so it just makes me
We were
wonder
just
how it
at the
is today.
Top Hat Club yesterday.
Right, right, right. And now,
Well, guess
hey,
what? That
yeah,
was yesterday. Today's
yeah,
today. We're not at the Top Hat Club.
exactly. And Sergeant Major used to say it all the time to us. I don't know if you remember, but he would get in the truck with me, and then we'd go from camp to camp, and he'd get in the truck, and he would just go, "I'm getting too old for this." And I'm like, "What do you mean, Sergeant Major?" Because I didn't walk around with him to whenever
Right.
we went to visit sites, but he'd get in and be like, "Hessler, I'm getting too old for this." And what he was really saying was that it's hard for one man at his level to teach NCOs that are older to continue to do it the way that it should be done
Supposed to be.
in the modern
Right.
in the modern day.
Right.
You
And
know?
the Blue Book is not taught the way it was,
No,
obviously.
it's not. It's not. And look, I've made my mistakes in life. Don't get me wrong. And
Hey,
and I'm
show me
human,
somebody
and
that's
I've done
perfect.
correct.
There
But
ain't one.
I still have that wooden creed out in the shop that Sergeant Major gave me. It was the NCO creed, and I still know it to this day. And when your life goes through some changes, I know yours has. When your life goes through situations, i.e., cancer, or you have things that make your life flash for a minute.
Oh,
The
yeah.
ones that truly believe in where we came from will always go back to what made us successful in life,
That's right.
whether it's in a marriage, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's at work or whatever. Sometimes you got to go back to that, and that old stuff comes out. That old demeanor comes out every now and then. They look at you like, "What is wrong
Telling
with
you.
you?"
And it worked. But see, the thing with it is, though,
But it
it
worked for 'em.
works.
Yes, yes. Now I don't.
If
You,
y'all
you,
want.
you got promoted. You got promoted to E5. I left the week of 9/11, but you hadn't got promoted yet when I left.
No, no, no. I was E5 when you left.
Yeah, that's
Just
right.
before you left. Just you don't
That's right.
remember Sergeant Wilcox?
Yep. Yep.
Boom!
I
Putting them on
remember.
me right here, and they stuck in my
Yeah.
collarbone. Yeah.
Yeah. When you went to your next duty station after that, right?
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if you experienced it like I did, but the mentality was just so different, especially people that never been deployed. Was it
Yeah.
the same for you? Did you run along and find issues with troops just not really getting it?
Yeah. Yeah. I had a hard time, and I went to Fort Stewart right after that. I went to Fort Stewart, and I was an older NCO than
Mhm.
most of the guys, that were my E grade at that point, and they just kind of, oh well, you're old. How come you're old and you're only an E5? Well, because I didn't join the army till I was 24 years old.
Right.
Okay, when you were in grade school, I was working in a factory. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
don't think I'm less because I'm older. Okay,
Right.
so that's what I ran into. That was my big thing is soldiers that were, you know, the age, E4, just about to be E5. They got their sham shield. They've had a sham shield for a while. They
Mhm.
thought, oh, I'm the greatest, or oh no, I'm a corporal. I'm an NCO now. Well, great, you're an NCO, then act like one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That kind of thing.
Mhm.
But I did run into a lot of that. And it was a little adversity. I'm not gonna lie. You know, um, and the thing is my platoon sergeant was the same age as me, right? Or I'm sorry, my section sergeant
Mm.
was the same age as me.
Yeah.
My platoon sergeant now, okay, prior Air Force, went into the Army, okay, and now this guy, and I don't want to put his name out there because I mean I don't I want to respect his privacy, but
Sure.
um, Air Force Army guy, um, and matter of fact, when we were deployed to the desert, I used to do his flat tops for him,
Oh, nice.
but he was my age, we were the same age,
Wow.
but he was E7, almost E8,
Right.
and he had arms about as big as my legs. So he was a big dude, and he didn't play, and I
Right.
loved that about him. I loved that about him. He didn't play. It was cut and dry. That's it. And
Yeah.
I kind of molded myself after him in my military career at that point. I tried to emulate him a lot because he was just, I mean, a jam up, fantastic NCO. But and I don't know where he's at these days. I wish I did because I'd love to, wish him well and stuff. But uh, he taught me a lot. He taught me, the biggest thing that, and I've seen it with today's soldiers, you know,
Mhm.
they'll they'll tell us they'll tell a lower enlisted, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do this, and they never do it.
They never follow through. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Now
and
my
I,
thing
I
is if you're gonna be a respectable
Mhm.
NCO or soldier or whatever the case is, or somebody that's in a leadership position, no, despite the rank, okay, if you're
Right.
in that position of being a leader and you tell somebody, I'm gonna do this, by God, you better do it. You
Yeah.
better do it, or they're never gonna look at you the same again.
Yeah. I see a lot today. What I see a lot today is it's become so more socialized in the workspace that
Hey Tom, how you doing?
yeah, and it's the actual, I mean, even the basic discipline of addressing, rank, you know, uh,
Oh man.
and really, and another thing about it is it's not really about respecting the rank anymore. If you're not friends in the workplace, especially where some of these, these first duty stations are actually more, I want to say, sat, what is the word where you're fixed site, right?
Okay,
It's kind of like they turn into corporate America, where if you don't like someone there, it's not really about I don't like you, but I respect you and I trust that as your rank and your
that's the way it's
job and your
supposed to be,
position, I can trust that you're gonna have my back, you're gonna take care of me, what have you not. I may not agree with
and
you
vice
on your
versa.
personality or whatever. It's not like that today. It is not like that
Oh,
today.
I experienced that on my way out. I dang sure did.
It's crazy. And then they look at you like you're funny. When
Oh, they'll dog you out, make you look stupid,
the
talk
way
smack
that you
about you behind your back. Yeah, oh yeah,
yeah.
and that's not
And
how it's supposed to be.
it's yes, and I also think that it's very hard seeing senior NCOs,
Mm,
lower commission officers today that are a quarter of our age, right? And it's not really taken it's not really taken the way it's supposed to. They don't represent, and I want to say this respectfully. I'm not saying they don't, they put the boots on and they serve our country. Don't get me wrong. There are veterans,
right,
there are brothers and sisters. However,
right on.
work ethic and leadership have to go hand in hand. And if it's a bad work ethic, right?
Then
And
your
it's just
leadership's gonna suck
then
too.
your ethics is going to your leadership is going to suffer correctly. I see it all the time, and it just makes me just want to shake the cage. And that's what I miss about our day, right? That's what I really miss
Right.
about our day.
And, and that's
But
something else too. It's like I miss what I miss about our day back in the day, bro, for real. Honest to God, what I miss about our day in the military was the old cats that were teaching us.
oh
That's
yeah,
the part I miss the most.
yeah, yeah,
Sergeant Bishop. Sergeant Major Briscoe,
Our Major
Sergeant
Briscoe.
West, Sergeant um I just said his name too, Wilcox, Sergeant Wilcox,
Yeah.
all those cats that we were, in Korea with, and then, some of the other duty stations that I had, like oh, I can't think of his name. If I heard it, I can't think, but I had an E6 when I first got to Fort Stewart. He introduced him to me stuff, and we had the same car, the exact same car. But he was such a great NCO too, and he was so cool because like when he was in front of like the seniors, he was this is it, this is it, this is it, this is it, you know. But you know how E6 is that E6 position is, you got to
Mhm,
play the lower enlisted NCO,
mhm.
and then you got to play the senior at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I was being an E5, he was like, "Come here, Wires. Let me help you out here, man. Let me show you. This is what I do. It's how I do." And he was just like an open book. When there's nobody around, he was an open book, and
Mhm.
he was a fantastic NCO. And I wish more NCOs were like that back in the day.
I've always thought that most of my jobs, most of my I got lucky when I got back to Fort Hood, working with the division commanders C2V and getting ready to train out, and then working for Sergeant Major Briscoe twice, and then I ended up driving them in Iraq. I've always been fortunate to have the jobs where the light was on the mission. We were the center of the mission, and
Mm,
being the team leader, whatever, we got that publicity. But I also had the exposure to some of that old school. Even Sergeant Major Braddock was
mm.
the MCOM Sergeant Major here when I got out, and he was my brigade and battalion Sergeant Major back in 1998, 99.
Oh, just before
He,
Korea, then.
yes, he was the oldest serving signal senior non-commissioned officer. Oldest. He had spent
Really?
36 years, and he had a combat patch that was 2ID. So he'd been around. And
Mm-mm.
that man was the if he were to come back today and say, Hessler, I'm you know I'm going to go down range. We're going to go do something. I'd be like, I'll get in. We're going to
Rules
go
on Major.
because
I'm right there.
right, because those are the ones, my old first sergeant, Greg Moore, my gunner, you, those very few where you can say, this is the one time where I'm going to say, I'll come out of retirement to go do it because those are the ones that we need. I want to serve
Roger.
along. Those are the old,
I'm
those,
right there.
that's that old teaching, that
Mhm.
makes you want to do it again.
Right on. Right on.
Hmm.
So I think, yeah, it's about that time. Let's talk about the tech tip of the week.
Tech tip.
Tech tip of the week. Okay. Cleaning your weapons, guys. Very important. Very important.
Yeah.
Um, now, again, being military, I was an armorer in the military
Hmm.
for almost my entire career. Almost.
Hmm.
Um, I think I was in Germany 8 months before they sent me to school. So almost my entire career, because Germany was my first duty station.
Right.
Okay. Um, we always use CLP, cleaning, lubricant, and
Hmm.
protecting. Okay. And a lot of companies today are making lubricants and cleaning lubricants and cleaning lubricants, or just a straight cleaner. Okay.
Right.
Like gun scrubber or something like that. Okay.
Right.
But a lot of ones that make the cleaning, lubricating are almost identical to the military stuff. Okay. Now,
Hmm.
when I was a kid, before I joined the army and became an armorer and started studying guns and things like that, uh, I grew up in the country. We didn't have a lot of money.
Hmm.
Okay. If it was broke and you needed it, you better learn how to fix it. Otherwise, you
Right.
ain't going to have it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I should say you're not going to have it. I don't want to sound uneducated, but but we used to use motor oil,
Hmm.
just straight up motor oil. Now think about that. Motor oil on a weapon. Why would that be good? Well, it endures a lot of heat. It doesn't
Hmm.
lose viscosity under heat. Okay.
Hmm.
So motor oil will be pretty good, right?
Hmm.
So, you know, coming up through the world and doing what I do and this, that, and the other, I actually started using motor oil again, and I started using Royal Purple. It's synthetic.
Hmm.
Okay, it's great for wear and tear. Okay, but then I know this guy. He happens to be an AMSOIL like dealer, and he's telling me that AMSOIL makes an oil that I really need to check out. And there he is, right there. He should tell us all about it.
So, yes, I am an Amsoil dealer. I switched from Royal Purple to Amsoil in 2015 in the
Mhm.
race car, and then my other cars, and they have a gun. They have a gun. It's a synthetic,
You're breaking up, brother.
are you there? Uh-oh.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. All right.
Is it breaking up bad?
Rewind again.
Oh, so
Now you're breaking up
the
bad,
Amsoil
bro.
makes a is it cutting off bad?
There, now you're better. Go ahead. Go ahead and give it a shot.
Okay. Yeah, so Amsoil makes a gun cleaner and a lubricant all in one, full synthetic, and it's not new, but it's recently become a big deal since a lot of the weapons and the sales of
Sure.
weapons have gone up a lot, and the stuff is absolutely amazing. Now, it, you really have to know what you're using to really know, is it better than CLP? Is it better than
Right. Right.
this
Right.
brand or this brand? Um, the thing about I like about the oil cleaners, it's the Amsoil cleaners. It's full synthetic. It's same. It's
Right.
made almost the same way as their engine oil is made, and top of the line, top of the line.
Right on. Right on. So now is you said that the AMSOIL is a cleaner and a lubricant? Is that correct?
It's all it's all in one.
Like a
Hmm.
CLP. Okay.
Hmm. It's all in one.
Just out of curiosity, kind of what just not exact, obviously, but
Mhm.
what kind of a price point are we talking?
So, if you obviously if you sign up to be an Amsoil customer, you get a 25% discount on it.
Oh wow,
The actual price
folks,
on it,
get you a discount.
exactly. And I can look it up right here, which that's something I didn't do over my time that I
So
should
yeah,
have.
if somebody wanted to buy some of this gun lube from you, how could they get in touch with you? Would they get in touch with you through the Gearheads and Gearheads and Guardians at
Mhm.
gmail.com?
They can do that. The just go through the link. We'll actually we'll edit the comments to put
Sure.
the email down there. They can go through you. One of the things that we're trying to do with gunners too is get get you to become an AMSOIL dealer for
Right
gun
on.
lube, just so you can help other veterans and what have you not. So,
Amen. Amen.
yep. But
Cool. I'm down.
it's
So
really
now
something that
have
to
you
look into.
have you ever used, I know there's other companies like Lucas even. I know they're a big
Mhm.
racing thing. Have you ever used their products before?
I haven't used gun lubricants. The only thing that I used Lucas was oil stabilizer in my truck in the
Gotcha.
day when before I put my extra filter on and switched to AMSOIL, because when you're low on money, you try to extend your oil life, so you put in a Lucas
Sure.
stabilizer, what have you not. Um, but I haven't used really anything else.
I used their gun grease, and it was okay. It wasn't like something I would jump up and down for. It was good. Don't get me
Right.
wrong. Good stuff. Good stuff. But now now when I was building gyms for like, Gold's Gym and setting up gyms and stuff like
Hmm.
that,
Hmm.
um, we used to use the stuff called Super Lube. Okay.
Super
This
lube.
stuff was slicker than snot, boy. I'm telling you what. So what
Really?
I have done, and it seems to be working pretty good so far. Okay. But I'll take just a little bit, like on the rails, on the inside rails of my Glock, on the
Hmm.
rails, okay? On the slide, I'll put a little bit of that, and I do mean a little bit. You don't need a lot, but I'll put a
Sure.
little bit on the rails in there, and then I'll take a little bit of gun butter,
Hmm.
either that or I'll put, like I said, royal purple, and a little cut, just a little drop on each side, and that's it. and
Sure.
man, that thing will run slicker than snot. So
Sure.
sometimes I guess putting grease and oil together actually works pretty good.
Yeah, I use because I'm haven't ordered. I need to order the Amsoil to, some more, but I actually use this stuff when I first got mine. It's a gun lube, but it's in a syringe, and you just it's got a real fine tip on it, and you just put it, and it works great. However, it's not a cleaner; it's just a
Right.
lube.
It's just
So
lube, right.
so Amsoil has they have two. They have firearm cleaner and protectant, and then they have the 100% synthetic firearm lubricant and protectant. So the cleaner and protectant 720, and then the firearm lubricant and protectant is 1045. So
Okay, that's cheap.
it really is. Now here's the thing that about their products that I want to say, and you hit on it earlier. You don't need a lot. But
Mhm.
the way Amsoil formulates their cleaner and protectant in both of them is it leaves a residue that is
Mhm.
like what happens to engine bearings, right?
I got you,
Is
okay.
and it doesn't smear, right? You know how you can
Mhm.
put lube and gun lube in the oil and it'll actually smear everywhere? That's what I love about the Amsoil product is that once it adheres to the metal and it protects it, it doesn't it's not going to push away, right?
I
It
see what you're saying.
embeds
I
it
So it's
embeds in the
almost like
metal.
it seats itself into the
Yes,
into the metal. Gotcha.
into the pores of the metal, but it leaves that small layer of lubricant. Now, imagine this: today's cars, you have the start stop, the auto start stop, where you save gas at a stoplight, and then when you
Mhm.
take your foot off the brake, it starts. I think what people forget when they're choosing their oil because they're not properly taught is that when an engine stops running, all of the rotating devices in there, the rods, the bearings, or whatever, actually when they stop, they sit down on the bearings. There's no oil that is keeping them afloat. This is another unknown by the majority of people is that your engine internals are actually floating in oil.
Yes, absolutely.
And so what happens is that when they stop, you have a cold start when they start and stop, and you slowly grind away at
Mhm.
all the bearing
Making a
faces,
groove
right?
in it, exactly.
Right. Amsoil, when it gets hot and it embeds into the bearing surfaces and the metal surfaces,
It
it
still gives
leaves
you the
that
pillow on top of there.
correct. It leaves a very thin layer where it's not pulling away the faces of the bearings and wearing down the metals. And that is why the full synthetic gun lube it works
Jam up.
exactly the same. It
Gotcha.
just and
Well,
when
now
you
see,
talk
now I gotta
about
go
dry
spend
fire,
some more money. I gotta go
yep.
spend more money now and go find some.
Hey, $10, I'll send you a can.
Right on. Cool, man.
Hmm.
Cool. So, there you have it. That's kind of like your tech tip for the week. Different oils, different things that, used for lubrication and cleaning. Um,
Hmm.
and I'll be honest with you, 110 freaking percent the best way to clean your weapon. Now, granted, you gotta make 110% sure you get it dry. I don't care to this day, I still take my Glock in the shower, I don't care.
Right.
I'll take it in the shower and the toothbrush
Yep.
right there is the
Yep.
toothbrush. That's the one
Yeah.
I use.
Hmm.
But I'll
Yeah.
scrub it, I'll take it apart, completely apart, Q-tips, dry it out, everything, then I'll
Hmm.
reassemble and lube it up. So,
Hmm.
but I do wanna say
Yeah.
real
And
quick, 'cause I know, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say too, one cool thing about the Amazon the for full synthetic protectant too is that when you run it down the barrel,
Mhm.
it lessens the friction of the round coming out of the barrel.
Oh, I never thought about that.
So any part in the weapon that touches metal on metal that needs to slide, or even the round coming out when you clean
Hmm,
your barrel out, you're leaving a film of protectant in the barrel. So
right.
it may be small. It may be
I mean,
small.
when you shoot though, does it, like, smoke or anything like that your first
Mm-mm,
shot or so, or no?
mm-mm.
No?
Again,
Okay.
it's when you put it on and you clean everything and then and you follow the instructions, you're not gonna lather it on. But when you put it on there and you go to wipe it off, the way it absorbs and the way it gets into the metals and
Uh-huh.
just sits there. Um, And it also helps with making cleaning the next time that much easier when you wipe
Easier,
everything
yeah.
off.
Well, that makes
Mhm.
sense too.
Yep.
Way cool, way cool. Now I'm going to tell you, uh, and some of y'all might know that I do sell Glock parts. Okay. So if you're looking for Glock parts, let me know. I'll help you out. If I don't sell them, I will definitely get you in touch with somebody that does, that knows what they're talking about, that they're a good person to buy from.
Mhm.
Like I said, if I don't sell it, I will definitely get you in touch with somebody that does, that I know that does, and they'll take good care of you. Because I won't send you to just some dirt bag. I just won't do it. But
Yeah.
today, got in the mail some pieces. Okay,
Ghosting. Mhm.
holy cow! Now, for some of y'all that have never changed out a connector or trigger spring, plunger springs, anything like that, or striker springs, anything, I really
Mhm.
didn't think it was going to make that much of a difference. Holy cow! I was way wrong,
Yeah.
way wrong. Now, this was a stock Glock 19. Okay, stock Glock 19. The only thing I had changed in it was just the trigger shoe. That was it. Okay. No internals were changed. Now, did I polish it? Yes, I did polish the internals. Okay.
Mhm.
But down here where nobody can see, because I know how face or YouTube is about guns online and stuff like that. So not there. Now, what I will show you with my handy dandy little measuring tool here. Okay. Okay. You can see it's zeroed out.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, any guesses?
2.5 pounds. Almost 3 pounds. That's light.
Huge difference. Because when
Yeah.
I checked it before I put it in there, it was almost 6.5 pounds. Yeah. So I mean, just huge difference. So guys, what they say about Ghost is 110% positively fact to the matter true.
Which
They
is
are the
another.
bomb.
I'm gonna give you when it comes time to do that to mine. We're gonna, I'm gonna have a
Absolutely,
70.
man.
I'm gonna have a $75,000 Glock 20 by the time that I'm done with it.
Right
That's
on.
race car
Right
points.
on. So now that brings me to concealed carry. Okay.
Yes.
Now I know a lot of people are probably thinking just now, well, that's 3 pounds is awful light to be carrying for concealed carry.
Hmm.
Yes and no. A lot of it, in my opinion, now again, opinion, has a lot to do with the basically that whole kit I just showed you, everything that's in there, the trigger spring, the plunger spring, and then of course your striker springs. Now with that
Hmm.
particular kit, okay, let me see if I can find it. What did I do with it? Oh, I put it away in the gearbox. Um, if you look here on here, it shows there's two striker springs right there, right? You have
Hmm.
a 4 pound and a 6 pound. Okay. Now, 4 pounds, they say, is more geared towards like sport shooting, range, stuff like that. 6 pound would be more for concealed carry.
Hmm.
Okay. So that the 6 pound striker spring, okay, is holding that a lot tighter than that 4 pound will. So actually for concealed carry, that 6 pound striker spring helps tremendously. It's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not as loose cannon as you would think. Okay. Is it a light pull? Yes, it is a light pull. Is there a definite, now the way that this particular pistol is set up, the way I have it set up, okay, is with the Ranger proof gear trigger shoe, okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then as far as like we're not supposed to be showing taking it apart, so let me do this. At least I believe that's right. Okay. Now the internals have been polished. You can see now there's some gun butter there, just a little bit of
Yeah.
gun butter. But
Mhm.
all these internals have been redone. Now, right, I can't see reverse. Right in here is where that connector's at, right inside there. I would love to take this apart and show you, but
Sure.
right inside there is where that connector's at. Down in here, more this way, is the trigger spring. Okay, and that
Mhm.
trigger spring, it's more. It helps seat that trigger a little bit more firm for you. It's not sloppy. It really makes a huge difference. And then also underneath the plunger right there, that little plunger there, it's a another spring underneath there that's lighter. Okay, it's
Right.
not as the poundage intense. The intensity is not as high. Okay, but it really does make a huge difference. So if you're looking to get that gun to run great, uh, and be effective, because I know everybody knows that if the lighter the trigger pull is, the less like torque and jerk you're going to have side to side. You
Mhm.
know, it's trigger control. Okay, the
Yeah.
more trigger control you have, the more accurate your shots are going to be.
Right.
Okay. Now that being said, is that safe to carry concealed? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you start talking like a range gun where you see some of these guys that take their Glock and go like that and rack it. That's way too light to be carrying for a concealed carry, in my opinion. Okay. Again, that's an opinion. Everybody's got one and they all stink.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
For me personally, I would not carry that. Okay. Would it be fun to shoot? Oh, hell yeah. Not fun to carry because I really don't feel like putting a hole in my leg. Okay.
Right.
But,
Right.
you know, uh, and that brings me to one more thing. Okay. And I know you're a member and so am I. I'm a gold member. But the USCCA, love it. Training videos. You get, I
Yeah,
mean,
they have a
just
lot
a
of stuff.
plethora of information. You can go online and download their videos, watch videos for different training scenarios, tips and tricks, everything. Every month, or is that every month or every week? I can't remember. I get so many emails from them, but you get tech tips, training tips. You get a magazine, okay,
Mhm.
uh, that gives you some. I mean, some really good articles even. And I think I had one. What had happened to it? Somebody got sticky fingers and came and got my other copy. I know
And I wanted to say something toward about
my youngin
the
likes to
trigger.
read them. So
I wanted to say some go real quick. Go back to the trigger pull.
sure.
People that have arthritis, right? Also might want to think about a lighter spring too, especially if they do a lot of target shooting, or just
Mhm.
out on the range. So that's something for people to think about
Right.
is
And you're
arthritis.
right. It does help. 'Cause I'm just starting to get the effects of arthritis in my hands. Not bad
Hmm.
yet. So I mean, I'm not all thank God. But
Right.
and when it
But anyway.
does, I'll figure out a way to make it work.
But yeah, the USCCA, I just got in fact, I just got my cards and my vault in,
Oh, gotcha.
and the safety pouch. Man, they send you a whole bunch of stuff, and it's like, man,
Yep. Yep.
one of the, but when you do the reading behind everything, they are a dedicated group to making sure that your stuff is legit. It's, if you're in the right, they're going to stand right behind you, the whole way,
Yep.
you
Yeah,
know.
because you get if you're a member, and God forbid you ever have to come down to the wire where you have to draw your weapon on somebody and use it.
Yeah.
First thing you do, obviously, is call 911. The second thing you do is you call USCCA.
Yeah.
There's a hotline, and you'll talk to a lawyer specifically for you. And you can even go in and pre-designate a lawyer in your
Hmm.
area.
Yeah.
And I know in our
Absolutely.
area, and the cool thing it is, okay, they even have some that are on call 24/7.
Hmm.
And in our area, I don't know if you knew this, in our area, there's like 8 of them.
That's awesome.
No joke, at the drop of a hat.
That's
And they're
awesome.
on the website. You can go and find them.
I'm glad
So
you
yeah.
turned me on to it. Yeah.
The thing of it is, you know what? I don't mind spending. Was it 26? Because we're veterans, so we get a discount. But
Right.
um, and I know you're over there going. My thing to that is that recruiting office door wasn't locked when you walked by, was it?
Right.
That's why we get it. That's why we get a discount, because we stopped and we gave up our freedom for a long time.
Sure.
So
Rightfully so. Yeah.
that's why we get a 10% discount.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And the thing
use
with
it.
the what people don't realize, that 10% discount basically just takes the tax off of whatever you're buying. That's it.
Mhm.
You're not
Yeah.
getting some huge astronaut. You're just not paying tax. That's it.
Right. Right.
Don't.
Yeah. And
Like I said, though,
when
the
you
returning
think
office door wasn't shut when you walked by, was it? All right. So,
right, and when you think
but
about the benefits of it, it really outweighs the monthly cost,
oh
or if
my
you
God,
pay
Lord, yeah.
for a
Because
subscription. I mean,
I
because
tell you what, and the thing of it is, you get emails or you'll get text messages if you sign up for them. Okay, that they'll tell you, oh, this happened here, this happened there, and they'll give you stories about what all happened, what
yes,
happened, how it happened, what USA or USCCA did to help that person, kept them out of
yep,
jail, things like that. I'm here to tell you, if I ever have to draw my weapon on somebody and they take my gun, because they're gonna take it. Bottom line, okay, they're
yeah,
gonna take it.
yep,
Will you see it? Maybe.
yep,
Not promising you'll ever get your gun back, but they're gonna take it. Okay.
sure,
But not only that, they're gonna take your freedom, your rights, your privileges until you are proven innocent.
that's right. And these
USCCA
guys,
is gonna be there to help you along the way to keep you from being incarcerated
yes,
for life.
yes,
So I'm here
absolutely,
to
and
tell you that $30, $40, or $50 could different levels of membership.
mhm,
Whatever one you're talking about, 20, $30, $40 a month
and a
compared to
whole bunch of lawyer
life in
fees that
prison,
you might lose. Yeah,
I don't mind
exactly,
paying that extra 26, $36 or whatever it is. I don't mind
not
it a
at all,
bit.
not at all. And when you have
So
your card, you put it with your concealed carry card, you put it
I
with your
do.
driver's license, your military ID, and here's my book, officer.
Amen.
You know,
Amen.
absolutely.
Yep. I got my driver's license, VA card. I have my USCCA card.
Mhm.
I have let's see, what else is it? Wounded Warrior card. I got
Mhm.
oh, my Glock Shooting Sport Foundation card, and yeah, and then I got my concealed carry permit. I have all that in there.
Yeah,
There's no way to get it confused, you know.
right.
Legal down to the wire, down to it, man. There's no if and 100% squared away,
Yep.
and that's I even have on my phone. If it wasn't dead, I'd show you. But I do have USCCA lawyers on speed
Mhm.
dial. Because
Yeah.
man, I tell you what, I'd rather be prepared and never ever use it than
Yep.
to need it and not have it.
All it takes is just a real quick login, sign up,
That's it.
and get protected. Get protected.
Exactly. That gun's gonna protect you from the bad guy, but
Right.
who's gonna protect you from the law?
Correct.
And I'm not saying the law dogs are bad, but they have a job. They have to follow the
Mhm.
law. Okay.
Mhm.
And we're never going to change that. Okay.
Correct.
But what we can change is how prepared we are to keep ourselves out of the clink when something like that happens.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And I've even talked to police officers here in Seguin. Amazing bunch of guys, by the way. I support them. I back the blue big time. But I've talked to them, and they're like, "Yep, that's a good thing." Because I've asked them, their opinions on USCCA, and
Yeah.
you know what their first thing was? There's a couple of them who told me, "I wish more people did."
Yeah. It make their job easier a little bit to know that okay, there's some validity to the situation here that I mean, just do it. Just people just if you own a weapon and you have your concealed
If you're going
carry,
to carry that weapon,
USCCA,
just do it. I
just
mean,
do it.
just like Nike said, just do it, man.
Just
You're
do
going
it.
to save yourself a lot of heartache and pain. That's a
That's
fact.
right.
You know,
That's right.
is it a bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Overkill.
Well, yeah, you could say that maybe, but
Yeah, but I
it's
mean,
the monetary value. Okay, so it's what we'll just say 200 some odd dollars a year to
mhm,
keep you out of jail, or
yeah,
to give you a lawyer for free.
Well,
plus
I
all
mean,
the
if you,
education, plus all the tech tips, plus all the magazines, plus all the stories, plus all the gear reviews, plus all,
yeah,
even Colin Noor has a YouTube channel. Okay. He's an I want to say he's the instructor too. I can't remember if he's an
yeah,
instructor or not. Super
hmm
cool guy. If you guys get a chance, go check out his channel, by the way. Awesome dude. His name is Colin Noor. And is it Noir, I think it is his name. Super cool guy.
Yeah,
But he's
Nor.
like he's a representative of USCCA.
Yeah, if you're gonna carry, if you're gonna put it, you spend the money to buy a weapon and all this stuff, and then and to get the way you want to protect yourself from every aspect of the situation, not just the
Not just the bad guy.
not
Yeah.
just whatever's in front of you, right?
Amen. Amen. So that was a pretty good show, I believe, brother.
Yeah, that was good.
Does anybody got any questions? I think we have like 3 people watching.
Do we really?
Woohoo! We're big
Say
time now,
it,
buddy.
say it ain't so. I didn't even.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the page here. It says 3 watching now, started streaming 50 minutes ago. So here's my question. I'm sure it's counting me, and I'm sure you're watching it too on YouTube. So it's probably counting both of us and my buddy Mike. So that's 3. Mike was super cool guy. As a matter of fact, you remember me telling you about that cat that sent me that picture of Dime Bag?
Yeah, yeah.
That's him. That's him. M&C
Oh, very
Aquatics.
very
That's him.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Sweet guy. Remember I told you about the guy that builds the barbecue pits? That's him. He was on the
Nice.
barbecue trail. Yeah, he's kind of used to competition cook and everything. Yeah. Super cool cat.
Yeah, it and word of mouth. You see if you're on social media and you do anything looking at weapons or anything like that. There you have the all of the tools and all the reminders that do this right. But I think we wanted to touch on one thing was about the calm and discipline in situation. Um, Big in the world of jujitsu, our art, which is samurai art. Uh, they were Samurai were very calm people, and they were war art. This is what they did, and I will tell you that if I'd have known now, back in a lot of my situations that I've been in, the turn of events or the way I would have handled myself moving through the situations would probably be a little bit different. Um,
Right on.
Especially
That's all
when
part of
you
growing old, man.
or growing old and having some wisdom behind you. But
Right.
um, self-defense is one of the things that even if you do carry a gun, right? We have all the weapons in the world. I train on all the weapons, and we won't ever pull a weapon out until you give me a reason to. And we'll try to
Right.
use our hands and our verbal to save ourselves or save the situation without it escalating, because I'm going to survive. I'm going to survive. No matter what the situation is, I'm going to survive. I may bleed, I may get a little bit of hurt, but I promise you that I'm going to survive. And so you
Right
have to be
on.
calm
Right
through
on.
all that, because if you do have to draw your weapon, unless you've been through the courses like the Central Academy, the Central Police Academy, Central Texas Police Academy. I went through that back in 2000. Um, you know,
Mhm.
you gotta have a calm focus so that things don't get all scatterbrained and you just start you know um, shooting at people, or you start doing some crazy stuff in the middle of chaos. It's
Right.
really crazy
Right.
how the brain keep your brain calm. Keep your brain calm in any situation, to include life. Always see life through calm, and you'll find yourself even finding situations that come about you're going to try to stay away from too. So
Right
it's
on.
just
Right
a little
on.
something I wanted to put out there about. We're talking about concealed carry and everything like that.
Sure thing. Sure thing.
You're always gonna have someone that tests you.
Okay. One last thing I definitely want to touch about, because we have like 1 minute left before our
Hmm.
stream's over. Again, as always, God bless everybody. Thank you so much for showing up, Mike, and anybody else that might watch this in the future. We really appreciate you. Um, the big takeaway from this that I want to make sure everybody knows about, okay? 988.
Please.
If you ever have thoughts of harming yourself or, just doing something bad like that, don't hesitate. Somebody out there does give a damn. Okay. Right here's 2 of them.
Yep. Call.
Okay. Call 988. If you're a veteran, I think it's 988 and then option 1, I think. It even look, man, it might not get back to you right away, but man, you can always email gearheadsandguardians@gmail.com. Trust me, we will get back to you. Okay. Might
We
not be
will
right
reach out.
that day, might not be the next day, but we will reach out. Okay. Just leave us a phone number, leave us an email, something that we can reach back out. Cause I mean, we do got a lot of stuff going on too. We got personal lives, family, kids, everything, jobs, a second job, a business. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a lot
Yep.
going on. But
Yes.
if we don't get in touch with you, man, please 988. Okay.
You're worth it. And people got to understand that.
Exactly every dang moment of the day you are
Yes.
worth it.
Yes.
I mean that.
And you can
22
reach.
22 veterans a day is 22 too many. And any civilian, that's one is one too many. We do give a damn, guys. Okay. We do give a damn. Please just reach out. That's all I'm asking.
Reach out. And keep this one down too. info@relieffortroops.com. Email us there. We have avenues to reach us because we've been in those shoes, and we know how to survive and get better. We can help.
That's right. And you can always reach out if you get the Relief for Troops address. You have the Gearheads and Guardians at gmail.com. And there's also Gunner6 at gunnerswag.com.
Yes.
All right.
In fact, funny you said that too. I got the new beer glass in.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, let's see it. Come on, we got to see it.
Oh, hold on. I'll go get it. Hold on.
Got to see it. Yes, we do have beer glasses. Way cool. We have coffee cups, beer glasses, Christmas ornaments, t-shirts, and all kinds of stuff. Oh, wow. So that's the other logo, right?
This is the other logo. And again, real quick, guys, if you purchase this, I purchased these, and the proceeds outside of once this cost is covered, all the proceeds go between Chuck's Soldier Suicide charity and Relief for Troops, so we can continue to help our fellow veterans.
Help our brothers and sisters, absolutely. So anytime you buy a t-shirt, as a matter of fact, let me put that in here real quick for you. It's right there. Right there. Gunners 6 or Gunners -8 creator-spring.com and listing Gearheads Guardians. Check it out. There's stuff on there. And if there's something on there that you'd like to see, drop me a line. No problem. At gearheadsandguardians@gmail.com. And I think we just lost old Nitro there. Okay. So if you have any questions or things you want to hear us talk about, anything like that, send your questions to Chuck and Drew at gearheadsandguardians@gmail.com. Guys, I would like to say that was a wonderful night with y'all. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We do really appreciate. We know your time is valuable, and we really do appreciate you. And I think he just popped back in here.
There I am. My battery died on my laptop. This is what happens.
Oh, no.
Lesson of the day: charge your devices.
Charge your devices.
Charge your devices.
My old light gets charged every day, whether it needs it or not.
Exactly.
But yeah, guys, really, serious as I could possibly be. I mean, we all like to have fun and things like that, but there's a time to be serious. And right now is that time. If you ever think about doing something like that, please don't hesitate. 988,
Please.
Reach out. We do give a damn. Yeah, we're just two knuckleheads up here having fun, talking about guns and military and, race cars. And it's all stuff that we like. But you got to remember that the biggest thing is we do this to have fun. Okay. We don't get paid by anybody. We don't, this is just like if we talk about guns, this is what we like. This is what works for us. Or this is what we're going to try, or this is what we're going to look into. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't get paid by Olight. We don't get paid by Glock or, or Ghost Incorporated. But if I buy something from them and I check it out and it works great for me, I'm going to tell you. Okay. I will tell you. Okay. So again, with that being said, guys, we went over keeping calm in the storm, keeping the chaos at bay. And we talked a little bit about leadership in the military. Actually, we talked a lot about that tonight.
A lot, yeah.
We talked about gun cleaning. Our tech tip was about gun cleaning and lubrications and cleaning stuff. And then we went over of course in the little Ghost Incorporated gun parts by the connectors. And then we went over USCCA, and I really do. I hope that if you ever have to do the unthinkable with your weapon, that you do have a group of people behind you, like USCCA. Okay, if not USCCA, period.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
I've just found that USCCA just seems to be better than some of the other ones. And again, that's my opinion. Okay. You might find that another company or another, entity is better for you. I'm telling you, this is what's good for me.
Right.
Works great. And you get a hell of a lot for your buck. Trust me.
You really do.
A lot. Okay. Yeah. And then we're just going to close with, 988. You ever think about hurting yourself or anything like that? Reach out. Again, there's our email right there. Questions or anything like that, Gearheads and Guardians at gmail.com. Reach out. We'll help you as much as we can. Gunner6 at gunnerswag.com. And what was the Relief for Troops?
It's info@relieffortroops.com.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So that being said, God bless everybody. You have a wonderful night.
Bless everybody.
Stay vigilant, stay awesome, and we'll see you next week, Wednesday, if nothing goes wrong this next Wednesday. I had a doctor's appointment.
Charge your stuff.
And make sure you charge your charged up stuff. All right. God bless y'all. Have a wonderful evening.
Have a good evening.
Ooh.